Hey everyone, it's Kristen. So I finally got this issue as well, and it's just a kind of a follow-up issue to the Dazzler miniseries that was done. It's the same writer, um, and be prepared for another song. Oh, anyway, I like the cover. I think it's cool. You have all these heroes on the cover, supposedly listening to, Dazzler's concert. They're not in this book, but of course, covers, they don't always, you know, tell you what's in the issue. They are basically there just to grab your attention and sell comics, which, I get it. I mean, I've fallen for that too. I bought plenty of comic just because of the cover, like a variant cover, obviously. Which I need to quit doing that because I'm running out of room like for everything. My mansion takes up a lot of room, and then I have like behind me, I have stuff all behind all the Barbies and the action figures. It's pretty much full, and then like I said, my mansion takes up a whole lot of room. So yeah. Anyway, I need to stop doing that. I'm running out of room. But speaking of that, I did buy these two because of course I love Dazzler and I love these covers. They're just really fun. But I was disappointed though she does not wear this costume, her most iconic costume in this comic, which like I said, covers, especially variant covers, are not necessarily true to what's inside. So anyway, it says live from California. It's the concert of champions, Dazzler, Luna Snow, Lila Cheney, and additional performances by Sugarcane, She Attacks, Dupe, Luann Savannah, and many more. So kind of like a cool poster for like the festival. So I anyway, so we open on Ghost Spider, like talking about how it's really been hard for her being in this world and being, Gwen Stacy and Ghost Spider, and she's happy and excited for this concert because she just feels like she needs a break. So Luna Snow, a K-pop sensation, and then of course Dazzler, out and proud mutant pop idol Dazzler, because of course Luna Snow is not a mutant. She got her powers in an accident where this like cryogenic, like her powers are cryogenic based. Like something malfunctioned when she was kidnapped, and then she got these powers. And then of course Lila's a mutant too. I don't, and it says interdimensional punk rocker Lila Cheney. I don't think people know she's a mutant, but you know, they might assume, I guess, her because of her association with Dazzler. Anyway, so it's also streaming, there's like live streaming the whole concert. And then you see this ominous band, they're practicing and they're talking about how they're going to open this gateway portal to bring forth their interdimensional friend and use their power to take over the whole universe. And they're called the Deep Void. So Dazzler's doing her sound check and she's like, "Oh, you sound great." And everyone's saying that and Luna is like, "Oh, she sounds super great." And Lila's like, "Well, game recognizes game, Mr. or Mrs. Miss 20 million followers." Like I said, because she's a K-pop sensation, and I feel like, of course, in more recent years, like everyone has started to learn about K-pop. Like I didn't know about it, and honestly, until BTS came on the scene. That's the first time I had really heard about it. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm like so uncultured, but yeah. And then of course the new Netflix movie, K-pop Demon Hunters, which I watched with my nieces. It was interesting. Like their songs, the songs, especially by the Soja Boys, Soda Pop. Oh my gosh, that's been stuck in my head ever since I watched that movie. Like I can't, even before I watched the movie, people were sharing that song everywhere. So that's been stuck in my head for like 2 weeks now. I don't know, ever since pretty much a couple days after the movie premiered. Just, yeah, it's been stuck in my head. I mean, like I said, it was a pretty good movie. It was an interesting concept for sure. I feel like they're gonna somehow do a sequel because I mean, it's a super super popular movie, so I don't see how they could not do a sequel. But anyway, sorry, I digress. You know how often that happens. Anyway, so Dazzler goes to her trailer. You see, kind of some of her different hairstyles throughout the years. And this is what I don't like. I was really sad about this, is that they made her bald. Like, look at that. And it's supposed to be a nod to how stressed out she is and how like upset she is about what happened during her last tour, like her mini series. But I'm like, really? That's just I don't want to see her like that. That just is so just oh, it sucks. And this of course is came out way before the whole um murder me Mutina that we just talked about that well I just did a video on well that was my last video but anyway so yeah this was before all that came out and so now her being a mutant a public mutant that kind of leaves her even more of a target for the whole anti-mutant hysteria happening especially kind of because of that movie. But of course, anyway, I digress because that hasn't even happened at this point. So she's just really just super stressed out from just the normal mutant hysteria. She's like, I lost a lot of fans, like half my fans after that. She confesses to Lila, later, I lost half my fans. Multiple man left. Shark Girl kind of defected to go form her own band, do her own thing. She just feels a little lost. And so there's Lila and Luna Snow out there doing the fan meet and greet. And it's been 2 hours, and Dazzler was supposed to be there too, but she hasn't made an appearance yet. So Luna kind of is like, yeah, what's up with Dazzler? She's like, that's her business. Just leave her alone. And so they have like this is She Attacks. This is the band that Shark Girl formed because she was the drummer for Dazzler. And there's people in the crowd that are booing and saying like, "Bring on Deep Void," that band, the mysterious band at the beginning. And uh, Gwen Stacy there, and she trips that guy kind of that's yelling boo and saying, "Bring on Deep Void." And Dazzler like her kind of alarm wakes her up, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I slept." And Lila comes in and Dazzler freaks out like, oh, just a minute, because she doesn't know it's Lila. She doesn't want anyone to see her like this. Like, she definitely doesn't want Wind Dancer, her publicist, to know this because then Strong Guy would know this and then everybody would know. She just doesn't think she can handle like having anyone see her like this. But of course, Domino, she and Domino are really close. Domino is her like security um person. So, you know, and they're like really good friends. And so Luna decides to do something really nice for Dazzler and makes this like ice sculpture of her in like this little walkway, kind of like a runway. And Dazzler like slips on the ice and, you know, basically her powers kind of are out of control and she puts a hole in Luna's trailer. And Luna's like, "What the heck? Why did look what you did to my trailer?" And Dazzler's like, "Well, I didn't expect you to ice the floor." And Luna said, "Well, I thought you'd be more careful." But anyway, I mean, I agree, kind of agree with Dazzler. Icing the floor, not a good idea. Most people, like me, for example, don't have the best balance. So I probably would have fallen also. Like I've only been ice skating once and oh, it was bad. Like and I've only been roller skating twice and that was bad. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the best sense of balance. It's not good. It's not pretty. That's all I can say. So Domino's like, whoa, everyone calm down. You know, we still have, a festival to perform. And Luna's like, you're right. After all, I used to download your music when I was a kid. And Dazzler gets all defensive, like, was that a dig at my age? And Luna's like, what? No. Like I said, Dazzler is just really in her head, really defensive, really just upset. She, feels kind of like a failure because here she was just trying to, entertain people, and that's all she's wanted to do. She wants to, be an entertainer, and especially her being a mutant, she wants to be a good example, and her tour was just kind of a disaster. Like I have said, I was very disappointed by the end of the miniseries. Um, I didn't. I thought the villain reveal could have been better, and I talk about that, in the Dazzler series, especially of course in issue 4. Oh, and Dazzler also mentions the breakup, so I was right. We only see the Doctor in that miniseries. That's it. Like he's not like he's not a continued character in the Marvel universe, basically. It just seems like he was just kind of a throwaway character that they put in there just for you to be like, oh, well, that's sweet. Dazzler's dating someone else, or dating someone. But anyway, like, oh, her life's going good. She's starting a tour. She's, has a boyfriend who's a doctor. Life is good. I feel like that's why they put that in there. Anyway, she mentions that they broke up, and so that's just one more thing to add to the list of why she's upset. So they're booing Sugarcane off the stage. Mostly the people that are like, we want Deep Void, which Gwen's like, I don't even know who Deep Void is. I've never heard of these people. And then Deep Void show up, and they're like, excuse us, let us grace, you with our presence, basically. We are Deep Void. I think I said the Deep Void either earlier, but no, just Deep Void. So anyway, they, they're basically taking over the festival. They weren't even on, the roster to perform. And Luna and Lila think that doesn't sound like our theme of peace and love and unity. So they're trying to go figure out what's going on. And Luna's like, Dazzler, get out here right now. And Dazzler's like, just, I can't do it. I can't, you guys just need to go take care of it yourselves. So of course Gwen's already there. So she changes into Ghost Spider, and she's like, we have a noise complaint. So it's time for you, like, to shut you down. And then, Domino and Lila are trying to, take care of everyone else, like trying to get rid of the so basically what they're doing is they're singing this song that's actually a spell, and they're having everyone else chant this spell along with them. When they listen to them, when they hear it, because it's being live broadcasted, then these people also repeat their spell and join in and make the spell bigger. And so there's the terror in the sky from where they're trying to summon this interdimensional being. This, I'm gonna say a demon, but it's probably not a demon because demons usually come from like down there. But of course, this is comics, and there's all kinds of crazy wild worlds and stuff, so it could be an interdimensional demon. Anyway, like I said, not important. So they're trying to, amp up the crowd a little bit more because you can see it kind of peering out of the opening, but not quite coming out yet. So then we have Luna, who's coming, to basically reinforce, and she points out who the members of the band are. So this guy is Agar the Screamer. He volunteered for an experiment that, enhanced his vocal cords. And so when he screams, like, people hallucinate and stuff. And he actually did have a relationship with Screaming Mimi at one point, which makes sense. Screaming Mimi, Agar the Screamer, total sense. And then he was killed, unfortunately. And then, I mean, later he was resurrected, but in the meantime, Screaming Mimi like moved on with her life. Like she found, she went on, joined the Thunderbolts, and then had a relationship with, Mach 1, who was actually Beetle. Um, but I mean, I think I've talked about that recently. Um, anyway, and then the drummer, of course, four-arm drummer is Forearm. That wasn't hard to figure out. He was a founding member of the Mutant Liberation Front. Let's see. And then she can't put her finger on the other two, but they are a Doombot and Lady Ruby Thursday. Ruby Thursday is like a scientist who she's she's weird. Like she has this plastic thing on her head and it allows her to change into anything. Like she can change her, her appearance. Once she turned her head into a gun and fired, at the superheroes trying to stop her. One of her plots was she was trying to make everyone have this plastic head like she had. She's a weird villain. And Dazzler does show up to help, in the fight. And in this costume, which is, I think, a new costume for her, like a newer costume. Mm, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, if we've seen it before. So yeah, there's Ruby Tuesday or Ruby Thursday. It's actually a play on Ruby Tuesday, that song. So yeah, there's our plastic head thingy because she turned it into a human head. And it's like a malleable computer, malleable plastic computer. Like I said, weird. Um, but yeah, so they're trying to open the portal, and let's see, Dazzler or Dazzler. Domino's like, I'll take out the drones, Spider-Gwen's like, I'll trash the speakers. And Luna's like, that leaves me and Dazzler with the band. So again, they're doing what they said they would do, the speakers, the drones, taking out the band. And you can see there's a face peering out of the hole in the sky. And I was like, okay. So, Luna creates a huge ice sculpture of Dazzler. Dazzler channels her power through this ice sculpture because I guess, anyway, to, something cool, I guess, to put in this issue. Uh, I guess, I don't know. And with them ending their song, it shuts the portal and these things that like had started coming out of the dimensional rift or portal, they like slice off. So that's gross. Oh, and they see Dazzler like without her wig that she's going bald. She's balding. And Dazzler kind of collapses and she because there's a drone that's filming and um Lila is kind of like, hey, get out of here. And Dazzler's like, I didn't want anyone to see me like this. And Luna is like, we got each other. We have to lift each other up. So a nice sweet moment. They're all hugging and then they all get together like for the last song. And Gwen gets to be in the band as the drummer because of course, she plays the drums in her band. And so she's like super excited to be in the band and she's wearing a Lila Cheney shirt. And then this is the song that Jason wrote. The world's got me stressed. My friends are oppressed. I'm just a singer in a world that needs saving. Fate chose me to be different, and I'm not. I'm gonna keep on living, but I'm so tired. I want to quit, but I can't. But with a bit of luck, I'll find my way through the doom and gloom of another day. I'll rise above and I'll stand and fight because the world needs so much hope tonight. Anyway, another one of his songs. He has the lyrics written right here in case you want to learn the whole song. I mean, I will say this Like the bridge is evil villains, a little literal nightmare, and an ancient sorceress. So she's talking about a nod to just her all the things she went through with Dazzler in her original series and in the mini series. Totalitarian tyrant, media sleazebags, vamp, and godlike exes, galactic heralds, a baddie sister. For all these years, I'm close to losing it. So we just recently in the Dazzler series talked about how her sister has this huge secret, and she was the herald of Galactus. Yeah, I survived the experience for all these years. I'm so done proving it. Yeah, I survived the experience. So, and yeah, she had the Vampire X in Exterminators. Like, so the chorus says, but with bit of luck, I'll find my way through the doom and gloom of another day. I'll rise above, I'll stand and fight, because this world, oh, that's what I already read you the chorus. Oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry. But like I said, that song is actually better than the song about Angel, the wing ding bling being the hook. Oh, I'm sorry, but that was just goofy. That was like super goofy. So anyway, uh, like I said, nothing. I hated seeing Dazzler like that, and I think that was the point to show her super vulnerable after like what happened in the miniseries. But I wasn't happy about seeing her like that. I mean, I don't want to see one of my favorite characters like in that state, especially not her being bald. It just kind of made me think of borrowing from the whole like Britney mental breakdown where she shaved her head and made herself bald, and of course Dazzler didn't make herself bald, but you know what I mean, just kind of playing on that sort of thing. But I mean, it was okay. I just I mean, I'm happy that they did it. I'm happy that Dazzler got another kind of thing, but I will say honestly, when I first heard about this, they hyped it up way more than what it is, if that makes sense. Like I thought it was going to be this huge thing, and really, it's kind of like the Dazzler miniseries where nothing like earth-shattering or super impactful happened. I mean, oh, I'm not trying to be negative, but like if you didn't read the Dazzler series, if you didn't read this Contest of Champions series, you wouldn't. I hate to say it, you wouldn't be missing anything. Like nothing that like refers to I'm okay, my thing is what I'm trying to say is it doesn't connect to anything else like in the comic book world. It's a standalone thing, so if you didn't read it, it's not a big deal. Not to say like you shouldn't read it, because if you read Dazzler stuff, that makes her more popular, which is good because she's one of my favorite characters, but that's all I'm trying to say. If you didn't read it, it's no big deal. It's nothing like that you need or have to read to understand other things going on. So anyway, but yeah, if you um liked this, then you should definitely read the Dazzler series. I mean, obviously there's a lot of mentions and ties back to it. The Dazzler miniseries, I did videos on that, and it's only like 4 issues, so it's not too bad. But yeah, and then my two variant covers for this. Like I said, I really like them because I really like Dazzler, and I really like her original suit the most. Just it's just iconic. Just excuse me, some suits are just that way iconic. Like um, pretty much every suit in the '90s that the X-Men had, because mostly Jim Lee in the animated series. That's how people know them are in those suits, and for the most part, they haven't deviated like super far away from those suits because they are so iconic. So, anyway, I've talked enough for this video, so I hope you will join me in the future. And until next time, bye.